All right, here we go. And welcome to Two Gray Goatees and a Whistle. I am Coach Huddy. Back is Coach Gonzo. And we have the coaches' wives, Amanda and Cindy. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hey, look at there we go. And in this episode, we are going to talk about pet peeves that coaches' spouses have with their coaches' spouses. Does that make sense? Did I say that? That makes sense.
We know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Your listeners know.
Yeah. Okay. Pet peeves, coaches' quirks, relationship dynamics when sports invades the home field.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do is our first segment is going to be the coach is always mic'd up. And the topic is coaching habits that sneak into everyday life. So, for example, if a coach says, let's execute the plan, we just got to finish strong. Is there any of those sayings that you guys hear us say that as wives be like, man, he's still in coaching mode and he's home now? Why is that happening? You guys got anything like that happens?
Trying to think of words that I don't know that you do that at home. I think if you ever said, let's execute that plan, I might die right there. But I don't think you use that. Maybe when we're watching sports, those kind of things might come out. I do remember, this might not be right, but at a game, when I'd have to do book, I would tally all the times on the top of the book that he would say, let's go. It went like right along with
the jump balls and all my let's goes.
On the possession arrow. We have possession next. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I don't really think so. I mean, just in the general conversation, or I don't really think that you do that, only probably because of the reaction you'd get from me. Like, what?
Okay, so there's never been a time where you think that's like he would never say, is there anything you guys think of that, wow, this is something he would say to his players?
Every once in a great while, you'll say something along the lines of is it something that you can control? Or
I think I've heard you talk.
Yeah. Is it something that you need to be wasting a lot of your mental energy on?
Right.
You've said, and not in those words exactly, but because every once in a great while you'll read a book and then it's like you live by that book.
Okay. All right. Because I read lots. So which book is it we're talking about?
I don't know what the book of it is, but it's about mental toughness and.
It's the Ted Lasso one, the one that I got.
No, you're stuck on that lately, but it was before that. It was a class or something you took when you were doing your, when you first started teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that was all you would say to me was well, just you got to have positive thoughts and you can't think negatively and you can't profess, negative things, or that's going to be what you get out of it. And that kind of crap bothers me.
That kind of crap bothers me. Right? So I think I know what you're talking about. For me, some of the things that, that I've said to you is the one on, hey, can you control that? Right.
Yeah. And I've heard you say that to your kids before. When you're running a play or when something unforeseen happens or something the other team does that mm-hmm. It was kind of not out of character, you would know wasn't something that they was legal or whatever. And you would say that. You'd be like, did you have control over that situation anymore? No.
Right.
Then you need to let it go.
So for the least when I've used it on you is because it happens. And I think and maybe this isn't right for me to say, some women get stuff going in their head that's happening, and it might not happen. Can you back me up on this?
Yeah, I think
I'm going back further and further and further.
So, but what I'm saying is there are certain things that do happen, and mentally you get hung up about, you're upset about it, And it's like, okay, can you control it?
Because you don't understand. You guys can literally sit there and have not a single thing go on in your head watching a football game on TV, and it's like you're checked out from reality. I don't know how you do that. There's 40 million things going on in my head. It's just one more thing adding to the BS. And it's just like, okay, that's what I'm going to pick to be pissed off about. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're right.
I think I say a lot more stuff to my kids about, I mean, that sounded like me being a coach than I did to Cindy, because, you know, they were there, we were talking about something, and like, can you control it? Can you, like, I mean, I would say a lot of things to Taylor and Derek that was things I would say on the court or the football field or the baseball diamond.
So maybe more translating to your kids at home, maybe not to your spouse, because telling our spouses what to do has always worked out, right?
Yeah, that works really well.
Well, you know what's really hypocritical is I will do that. The crap he tells me that I don't like, I will turn it around on Kelly and be like, can you control it? No, then chill out.
Yeah. I would say that probably, does come from us.
It comes from them through us. And
like,
then
what can you do about it now?
Right.
Yeah.
I know I've been telling you a lot of times in the last couple of weeks about, can you control it? Or I know.
Yeah,
but
I think when he says that to me, it's just irritating. I mean, I know he's being nice about it, and it's just like, yeah, I don't need that.
Well, I get it that it's their
Yes.
way of trying to help the situation,
Right.
but in reality, sometimes I just want to vent, and I don't need to be coached.
And
Yeah.
I've learned to like step back and just let it happen.
Right.
But you know, I'm also, after a while, it's like, okay, it's time to move on.
Says the
And-
guy who can sit there and literally have nothing going on in his head.
But maybe I don't know if that's a guy thing or not. It's like we can, like, that's our escape. And there are certain things that really do bother us, and like we'll let it percolate, I guess, inside. I don't know. Is there and maybe you can speak with Nick. Is there certain things that just he has a hard time letting go? And maybe that he needs to, and no, you don't have to share certain examples, but I mean, you don't have to get specific, but you know what I'm saying?
I would say he definitely gets stuck when different things may happen. He gets stuck on, well, I'm not good enough. I'm not a good coach. I'm not that, because of maybe just a few things that happen or that are said or decisions, so then he outlines his whole 25 years of coaching and doing wonderful things with just these tiny little moments.
And I get it. And then
Maybe Chad needs to come tell him to be positive.
Ouch.
Oh, man. Jeez.
Can you control?
So another one I use is self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, that was what I was getting at. You do that a lot.
I do that too, because the reason I do it is because nothing bothers me more. And I've seen boys do it. I've seen girls do it. It seems like I see it more in girls, just because I think they're more self-conscious, is when they are very negative towards themselves, whether it's about their body, whether it's about a personality, whatever it is.
Just tell me I'm beautiful every once in a while.
There we go.
And then I wouldn't know.
So talking about what Cindy was just saying about I'm a horrible coach and all that kind of stuff. When we do a coaching job, we put everything we have into it.
Right.
And
absolutely,
it's our world. And when we get that negative feedback from one or two people, it's like, screw you.
Yeah.
You know, and then you doubt yourself a lot of times, going, what the hell do I need to do now?
Right.
And how can I do it? And sometimes, many times, there's not much more you can do.
No, and
makes sense.
And I understand I've kind of learned that that's kind of part of the game. When you put yourself out there like that, it's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't going to matter. It seems obviously not there as much when you're winning.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But it does still happen. I mean, when undefeated year we still had one or two parents that were like being jerky. And it's just like.
And the one mom had a gun in her purse. But anyway.
Yeah. So,
We said we weren't going to talk.
I mean, that kind of stuff happens. But, you know, when I say self-fulfilling prophecy to the kids, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm horrible. I'm like, you know, I'm coaching, what are they, 11, 12, 13-year-old girls right now?
Yeah.
And, that whole idea that because they're learning about themselves and everything else. And then, we have this do this drill. I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, before they even
try. It's like, are you kidding me? And then so that's when I say you cannot have those thoughts, especially in baseball and softball where you fail 70% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have to get it through their head that failure is going to happen. And so, but you need to have that mindset. You step in. I'm the greatest person here. I'm the greatest player here. Build that, because that's the self-fulfilling prophecy that I talk about. And so when it comes out at home, it's like, if something happens, a certain job didn't happen or whatever, or, you had a bad evaluation or your kids tested horribly, and, you start doubting yourself, then it's like, hey, man, come on. And so I think for the spouse is trying to uplift them. I think that's part of our job, right?
Right. So
try to uplift the
kids and parents anymore don't know what it means. I mean, it's bad to fail anything. I mean, and you've got to fail. That's why
teach them to fail.
My number one thing in practice is don't be afraid of making mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. And I don't care if you kick the ball when you're doing dribbling drills or you're doing the wooden drill and it bounces off your head when you're trying to do this or whatever. Yeah. You got to teach them. I've been thinking about my first teaching math again next year. My first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a picture of Michael Jordan. I'm going to bring a picture of Einstein. And say, what do all these guys have in common? And they all failed a lot.
A lot.
How many times did it take what's his name to make the light bulb? How many times did Michael Jordan miss a shot?
Shots, yeah.
So that's going to be my opening for teaching math this next year.
Technology and what our kids are exposed to.
They see the success.
And we don't know how to be resilient. It's like we've lost so much of that resiliency.
Absolutely.
And to know how to do that, whether it be in sports or relationships or any of that, it's like we don't know how to be resilient.
No, and I totally agree. It's because all they see is the finished product. When these people at TikTok are doing that, they're not seeing the 15, 20 takes they might have to take to get something right, or 100, whatever it took, or they get the right lighting and they get everything. So they always look a certain way. Right. And these kids see that. They only see the finished product on the basketball court. They see the finished product. They're not seeing behind the scenes.
Because like someone that we both know, Kathleen Luce.
Yeah.
She what? This is positive though.
Oh, it's positive.
Well, when she made the game-winning crossover shot, we were playing UVC, and the newspaper said, "So was it a lucky shot?" And I said, "You know what? Kathleen's made her luck in her 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Every day she's outside her house practicing that shot. But the kids, everybody that saw it was like." Oh, that was a lucky shot. No, it wasn't. She's done that. Damn well that she was going to make that shot.
That work ethic got her to play at the next level
for 4 years.
At a really good basketball school,
SWAC and Eastern,
yeah. So she got to work with one of the best college coaches in the NAIA. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it worked out for her. All right, we're going to move on. Is there anything else anybody wants to add to this before we move on? Nope. Okay. Time management and the pressure to stay organized. Coaches describe how they structure their team practices and schedules. Wives compare how the chaotic home life can get, but yet we can be organized at practice. Anything on that? Any kind of real life situations you got to talk about with that, or anything you're like, you can do this, but you can't do this?
I don't know. I feel like it's the roles that we've set up for ourselves in a way. Like I'm not doing his practice plans or anything, and he's not maybe organizing a trip we're going on. I think that we just know it's what our strengths are.
So you're working with each other's strengths.
I think so. Don't you think so? I think it's...
I'd much rather do a practice plan than pay bills.
Me too. No. But yeah, I think we just, and maybe it's because we've been with each other for so long, like we know what each other can do and where their strengths are and what our roles are, I guess.
Well, it's just like today when they asked if I wanted to be AD. I'm like, going for athletic director. I'm like, no. I'm like, Cindy's the athletic director. She does all that stuff. Yeah.
And she's got that organizational skill.
Okay.
So, but one of the examples I got here is that he can schedule a blitz, but not a dentist appointment. So, okay, is there anything that maybe for me?
Well, I think Cindy had a really good point there as far as like we kind of create our own husband's uselessness in the fact that it's like, well, for me, I'm a type A personality, and so it's like I'm just going to do it that way. I know it's done the way I want it done, and it's done right in my head.
Yes.
But yes, I can see that you can take and schedule out a practice for a 2-hour practice down to minute increments. And then come the daytime when we're spending time together, you will ask me for the 400th time, what time are we leaving? When are we leaving for our vacation?
I get it. And
it's a learned helplessness, I think.
I think, and it might be that. I think, but I think for both of us, we've been married for quite a few years. I mean, between us, you guys, how many years you guys got?
84.
Not dog years.
28.
28. We got 25. So that's
28.
That's over 50 plus years.
27.
Gosh.
Uh-oh.
Well, why did you look at me that way then?
I'm trying to get you to decide on a number.
September will be 25 years for us. So
It's our silver.
29.
they're silver.
29.
How is that possible? You're like only 26.
Thank you.
Aw.
We were betrothed.
Yes, we came from long ago where it was okay to marry an 11-year-old. With the Old West.
History here.
Oh gosh, what was it? What's the Seth Farland movie? The Western.
Million Ways to Die in the West.
The West. And he's going on all these dates and he's on a date with an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
He's like, if I need to start her, I'll
She's
be
like, I'm
our
a
old maid.
spinster. Or whatever
Yeah.
she said.
Yeah. I'll be an old maid when I'm 16, so I need to get on it. So,
Yeah, but
So.
I think it's right, and I think I have the same personality. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do it. I'm just gonna
Then I know
taking
exactly
care of
what's
this.
happening. I know that everything was covered. It's
Yeah.
done the way I want it to be done.
Yeah.
And it's just done.
So when we're going on a trip and everybody's in the car, and I always get that, did you have to paint the bathroom? It's like, no, I had to make sure all the windows were locked, and I had to make sure the coffee pot was unplugged, and I had to make sure we fed the animals, and they're in the car.
No, this one, he will pick, like, we will be packing the car 5 minutes from leaving, and he'll be like, I need to go downstairs and dust the shelving.
I don't either.
It needs to happen.
Who called in for our Father's Day scramble for a golf tournament?
Certainly not your children.
Nope.
Oh, dear Lord. I think, though,
Anyways.
we help each other, especially planning trips. We do a pretty good job on that.
Really?
Yeah.
How many times have you asked me what dates we are going to?
No, I'm not talking about the dates. I'm not talking about everything. I'm
Okay,
talking
I
about.
asked you that how many times?
Yeah. So there. No, but what I'm saying is, like, as far as planning the trip, getting it ready, what we want to do, we're looking for
No,
Airbnbs.
if it's just both of our trips this year are not even for us.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what
Yeah.
you're saying.
So
But-
come on.
Or like,
Give me some credit.
hey, let's go to Lake Tahoe. When? What are you even talking
Yeah.
about? That is not balanced in my brain.
Yeah,
It should be.
That's like it's
He was thinking about it.
that's the thing too, is like trying to fit all that stuff in list, because you only got so many days you can do stuff, and then you also got so much money because everything's so freaking expensive now.
No,
Yeah,
I get it.
So then
So.
think
But
of
if
the
it was your
trips.
sports team, you'd have it
I
all.
was just gonna think of our trips and
Maybe.
then think about what we have to work around, especially with coaching.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is,
And I just started all my
We've
summer
got to
ball.
work around fall. How
And
many
that's the thing.
anniversaries have we been at camps?
and
yeah.
the when you're not coaching. So like right now, I don't have any plans to coach, and I'm kind of like, in the summertime it's kind of nice because I don't have any obligations to go to summer camps or anything like that, and it's kind of nice.
Mhm.
It
But what
was.
sucks is when it comes to season, and then you're like, man, I miss this.
We did a lot of things last summer
Yeah.
because that was my first summer in 25 years where I didn't do any summer ball.
You guys
Yeah.
were gone all the time.
But I'm excited to start.
Kind of
Open
recharge,
gyms on
and
Tuesday.
that's what's kind of nice about sometimes you just need to take a break. You
Mhm.
need to recharge.
And I needed it.
Yep. All right, we're going to move on. Okay. So we're going to revisit arguments, funny miscommunications. Is there a particular argument that has ever happened in your lives that's you guys want to share? That's kind of funny. When you think about it now, it's like, man, it felt like it was just handled badly because you were thinking one thing, you were thinking another. Is there anything like that that's ever happened?
You're not going to say it.
What?
November 9th,
Now we got
November
it.
9th. Was that
Why don't you tell it?
Cindy's birthday.
oh, you forgot it?
Well, here he comes with all the excuses.
All right.
Go ahead.
We didn't have school that day.
Okay.
So I didn't have the date put on my board. We're getting ready to go to state football. And I don't know. I always say my grandma died that night, but
She didn't.
She-
Conferences.
we had conferences and I had a parent go, so what are you doing for your wife's birthday? And I'm like going, shit. I'm going, it is the 9th today. And so I called you right up and said, happy birthday. Or
You were like, where should we go to dinner at? It's like o'clock
No,
in the
it
7
was
evening.
o'clock in the evening.
it was like 10:30.
It was in the afternoon.
No, we had
Women
practice.
remember everything. It was in the afternoon.
No, we don't.
That was a busy week.
Oh.
Sorry.
Wow. For us, for marriage moments, for us, it was never really anything like sports conflicted as far as, but we did like both of us forgot our birthdays,
Our birthdays.
not birthdays, anniversary. We forgot our anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mom called the next day, apologizing all over herself, and we were like, oh,
We'd only been married at that time, what, 5-6 years?
yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't very long. We were like, oh, hey. Yeah.
whatever.
We were kind of over that whole like
I
making
think
a
it
big
only
deal.
been like 3 years.
Yeah.
That hadn't been very long.
We were remodeling the house. We were doing something, so that's where our mind was. And then you came close to forgetting my birthday at school. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I will tell you what I tell my kids all the time. My date on my board will be right once a year. Because sooner or later it's going to come back around.
The same with my
Do the
clock.
clock.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. It was funny because I
never
remember
change it.
at school I had kids telling me, I had certain teachers telling me, and I'm just like, and that's to me was the running joke is like, who's going to be the first one in our between us that's going to forget the birthday? And
We haven't done it yet.
we haven't done it yet. So it
Thank
was like
God my kids changed the board. No,
it was like your last period of the day, wasn't it?
It was just after lunch.
Because you ran down like it was after school or just at the end of school because obviously you couldn't do it like then. But I remember being in the hallway and I must have been at the end of school because we were watching all the kids leave. And I see you come buzzing down the hall and they tell me happy birthday. And I was like, dang it. I was like hoping you would forget. So it's
That
more of a
wasn't
funny
really,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've made a anniversary trip before because of a job. 5th anniversary, we were supposed to go to Tahoe.
Yeah, there's your Tahoe trip.
And
You're
then
done.
I had an interview in Oregon. And I'm like, oh, Cindy, let's go to the Oregon coast. We love the Oregon coast, don't we? And she's like, yeah, that's be a good trip. And then I let her know that I had an interview also.
Yeah.
But
I don't know that as far as like sports related, I think the only time that we've ever even had an argument about something that was like miscommunication or whatever was occasionally, and it's only happened like a couple times, and I just blew up hard enough that it kind of nipped it in the butt, but you would like after like Thursday practice or whatever, go get drinks or something and swear to God that you told me this was happening, but it was no.
No, see,
And then I'd be like, where the hell is he?
But the thing is, you listen sometimes like I do. You do. It's like certain things go. It's like I'll say something and it's like, yeah, absolutely true. Hey, I'll tell you like with weeks going. I have a game on this day. You know, we got this going on.
No, he will sit there in his chair in the living room and rattle off 40,000 things for the entire season. Expect me to remember that 3 weeks from now he was going for drinks.
But I did tell you. So
You talked about it with your buddies, your coaches, enough
Oh,
that you're
no.
like
Yeah.
have
No, no,
yourself
no.
convinced that your wife
No,
knew.
I've done it multiple times where I've been like, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening.
See, this is happening. Do you know that after the second thing you tell me, I'm like, gone.
That's not on me. All I know is I did my job.
I was going to say, I don't think I do this as much. I don't know. Maybe sometimes when the girls or whoever, typically it's the girls. It's like they mattered more than me. And it's not all the time. It's come up a little bit, and it's like, seriously? Yeah, and it's been a few times. It's like,
Well, you're going to talk
they-
about team dinners.
yeah, but I'm just thinking in general. It's like all of your heart and soul goes into that team, and I'm over here.
That's the coach's widow.
I'm important.
Yeah.
But it just pops up now and then. I know that that's his passion, and it's just like,
Yeah.
do you want to go to Tahoe?
I've never been to Tahoe, and I have never really thought about going to Tahoe. I'm sure it's a beautiful place, but
What's going on in Tahoe? That's so great.
Well, those casinos, but then you got the lake and skiing. You got a little bit of everything. It's on the Nevada. It's on the Nevada.
I know where it is.
Northern Tahoe is beautiful. That's where we usually stay, and
yeah.
Did you want to comment on the passion for your team?
Well, I do.
Okay, so now we're gonna switch it up. I'm gonna I want you guys to think about. I want you guys to share something that is positive at home that has come from coaching. I want wives to share one thing they appreciate about having husbands who are coaches. And then I want me and Nick are going to comment on how we appreciate our wives when we are coaching. So wives, you're up first. What is one thing?
For me, and this is 100% one of the biggest reason why I married you, is you have a really big heart and you care about everybody. And I have enjoyed over the years, even when I'm having meltdowns and mental catastrophes with how much time you spend doing this. I love your passion for it, and I love that we can share that passion as I get more and more involved and as you share those things with me. And I think that's for me why I stick around.
That's good.
Well, that's good.
That's good.
Well, because there's a real passion there, and you really are a very, very caring and genuine person. And it shows. It shows in our relationship. It shows in your parenting. It shows in your coaching. It shows in your friendships. And that's what makes you such an amazing person. And without coaching, without that chance to exhibit that and to demonstrate that passion, I think we would be lacking a very, very huge part of our marriage.
Okay. That's good. That's
Wow.
deep. So, Cindy, what's yours?
I feel like I'm now piggybacking because it's the same thing. I think, it brings out, just this passion in you. You enjoy it. You thrive. It's who you are. And I think as we've been married, it's just it's a part of you. It's who you are. And I love being the advocate for you, and just like that you have so much passion and love for these kids, and that you don't want them to, yes, you want to have them be state champions, but you want them to be good people. And you just shine at bringing out the best in kids.
All right. Okay. Now it's about us, about our wives. You want me to take this one
I'll go
first?
first.
Okay, you go for it.
Probably my favorite thing is just the willingness to help me with whatever I'm doing with coaching. Perfect example is we would wake up in the morning on Saturday some mornings after football games in Oregon, and there'd be like 3 or 4 tents in our front yard, and the whole football team was camping in our front yard after the game. They would just come over and camp, and Cindy would be like, well, you better invite them in for breakfast. And you would like cook everybody breakfast, and just that type of, these kids, and they not only will remember what I did for them, but, Carl will always, I remember always eating breakfast over there when we camped out and all this stuff. And just that willingness to drop everything that we're doing and help out these kids.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just the support at home, where when I'm able to get away from it, and you're being there and always being there for me, and when things, are rough or something bad's happened or whatever. And the fact when I'm a complete a-hole, you're still hanging around. So I appreciate that and your willingness to understand why I love the game that I do. And I appreciate that a lot. It means so much because we had this conversation, the divorce rates with coaches and how bad that is. And when you are a coach, I can tell anybody out there who's getting into coaching,
Don't. Oh.
And whoever that is wants to be a coach, you have to understand everything that comes with that, or it'll never work out. You have to understand the time commitment. You got to understand where some of their focus is going to be. That's where marriages fail, obviously, with coaches, is that we talked about it. It's the time commitment and the little pay and all this other stuff, financial, all this stuff, and how that comes to it. But for us, it can work. We've shown it to work because I was coaching well before I married you.
Yeah, the whole know what you're getting into.
Yep.
No idea.
So
No idea.
Yeah.
You're just lucky I'm a really big, stubborn ass.
So anyways,
this is gonna work.
So anyways, yeah, that's to me, that would be my thing. All right, we're gonna move on to a segment that we started a few episodes ago. It's our rom-com sports mashup movies. All right, so if you guys haven't heard, I've been taking mashups of movies. And so the first one I did a couple weeks ago was Princess Bride with Dodgeball.
It was horrifying.
It was great. It was fantastic.
horrifying.
So last week we did, brain fart. What did we do? Oh, Major League and
Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama.
And it wasn't too bad of an idea. It was really corny, like Hallmarky.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I asked you guys today what was one of your favorite rom-coms. And so I'm going to pitch you a movie script. Okay, you guys are the producers and the guys that have the money. I got to pitch this movie. I'm going to do the trailer opening of the movie that we're going to mash up. Okay? All right. So, okay. First of all, have you guys seen Mystery Alaska?
Yes.
Obviously,
You've never seen Mystery Alaska?
You guys would love that movie. It's great. Russell
Crowe.
Crowe is in it. He's the main character in the movie.
It's super
good. It's really good. It's about a rec team that lives by hockey. It's like part of the community. And they end up playing against a professional team.
Was it a semi-pro team or was it a pro team?
No, they played a pro team. They played the New York Rangers. Yeah. So it was, anyways, it's a good movie. So we're going to use Mystery Alaska and 50 First Dates. So here we go. In a town of Mystery Alaska, hockey is life. Love is a daily maintenance, and memory is a temporary thing. So the trailer opens up with sweeping aerial shot of snowy mountains, tiny town rink glowing in the distance. Now we're going to cut to Lucy stepping off a snowy bus, looking around confused. Lucy, wait, where am I? And why am I holding a hockey puck and a moose's plushie? Cut to Jack, a rugged, bearded, bruised eyebrow, holding two coffees. Jack smiling. Hi, Lucy. We met yesterday and the day before that. And the day before that. Okay, here's the scene. Quick montage. Lucy falls on the ice. Jack helps her up. They kiss under the northern lights. She slaps him with a stick, thinking he's a stalker. She forgot everything every day. But what she saw yesterday might solve the mystery today. Cut to the town's mayor yelling at the town hall. Half of the NHL roster just disappeared, and your girlfriend was the last person to see them. To Lucy looking at the wall covered in Polaroids and Post-its that saying things like, trust Jack, do not eat yellow snow, and check the Zamboni room. Lucy, is this a love story or a crime board? Cue upbeat music like we're going to go indie pop meets rock hockey arena anthem. Jack says, if you don't find these missing players before the puck drops, Mystery might never get another shot. Lucy winks while taping a GoPro to her helmet. Lucy says, well, let's make today count. This winter, love is the real goal. Truth is buried under the ice, and romance has a mystery box coming soon. 50 first goals. Wherever true love meets last shots. Okay, character breakdown. Okay, Lucy Whitman is from sunny California. She's sweet, curious, fiercely independent, and even she forgot that every morning. Diagnosed short memory loss with a paddleboard yoga accident. Paddleboard yoga. She's unwilling to hold. She's unknowingly holds the key to a bizarre mystery involving missing players and a shady small town secret. Keeps a video diary, post-it boards to reintroduce herself to her morning. Jack Monroe, a grizzled coach and with a soft spot, former NHL star who blew out his knee and returned to his quirky town, Mystery, Alaska, coaches a local team of underdogs, the Mystery Maulers. Romantic at heart, determined to make Lucy fall in love every day while she disappears. That threatens to ruin the team's one shot at glory. Talks to his sled dogs like his assistant coach. Randy Fishsticks Knotson, comic relief and conspiracy theorist goalie. Wears the same Lucky Fish print boxers under his pads every game. Thinks the missing players were abducted by Canadian snow ghosts. Lives in the ice fishing shack with high-speed internet and the wall of red yarn theories. Mayor Helen Barnhart, the uptight leader, obsessed with the town's image and terrified of bad press. Once wrote a romance novel under the pen name Secretly Ships Lucy and Jack. Wants mystery solved before ESPN arrives to film a docuseries. Then you got Zam, the Zamboni driver, secret agent twist. The most silent presence, but always seems to be nearby when things go wrong. Might be harmless weirdo or a mastermind behind the disappearance. Has a raccoon sidekick named Slushy. So there's my pitch to your movie.
All right.
What do you guys think?
I don't know. I may watch it.
I'm gonna say
Once.
no.
You're gonna say no on that one?
I still think Star Wars is a rom-com.
Tell you what, our next episode we'll do Star Wars mashup with the rom-com. I think that'd be funny. We'll see how that goes. Oh man,
Star
Wars can go so many ways. Okay. All right. Next segment and our last segment we do all the time is our mascots. All right. We're taking you to Frankfort, Indiana. Okay. This town is about 16,000 people. It is located northwest of Indianapolis. Okay. Kind of give you an eye where it's at. And it's kind of halfway between there and Lafayette, where Lafayette's where Purdue's at. So, this school has a demographic of 912, 52% male, 47% female.
That's 99.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, that's male and female.
So it is today's world.
Yes.
Okay, so it does
the rest
have
of them are cats.
has
Litter boxes.
has a high 57% Hispanic, 40% white. So high Hispanic population. 67% of students get free or reduced lunch. Wow. All right. So decent amount. Wow. Notable alumni. Kyle Cook, who's the lead singer from American rock group 20 or Matchbox 20. Some people who were somebody who's a justice for Indiana Supreme Court, an Indiana representative. Ted Hazelwood played offensive tackle for the Boilermakers, and he was drafted in 1946 to the Chicago Bears.
I remember him.
Okay, our school is hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Yeah, the Frankfurt hot dogs.
Oh my
God.
Do you think they have the little costume like in the drive-in movies?
So actually, their mascot is like a little Dachshund Hound wiener dog.
Oh.
So that's their mascot.
They're not running around.
They're not around with a wiener.
Let me show you.
So that's our mascot for the week.
It's
The hot dogs, little Dotson.
Yeah.
And the corn, whatever.
Corn jerkers.
We did the corn jerkers. We did the apple knockers last week.
No, we had apple.
Hobags. I mean,
Hodags.
hodags.
Not hodags, hodags. We've
How
done
did you do that to a place? The hot dogs?
in a lot of times these people like they own it.
No,
So-
I know.
So some like for last week, the apple knockers was supposed to be like
It was supposed to
derogatory.
be a derogatory term because they were agricultural community.
A lot of
And they were like,
orchards.
Fine.
We'll
They
own
had
it.
like a freckled old
guy with a
Farmer
straw
looking
hat and a straw out of his mouth. Yeah. So
I'd
Okay.
rather be a hot dog than some other things.
yeah,
Well, we were senators, and people
I know.
always thought that was
yeah.
Sort of weird.
Well,
Yeah, it is
and so
kinda
we,
weird.
we kind of talked about this last week about how mascots that are unique to their community.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
like the Hodags is a
The
legend.
mythical
legendary thing, or Tillamook, the
Cheesemakers.
because
Yeah.
cheesemakers,
We talked about how we thought it was cooler than like we're the pirates.
or we're the Tigers, or we're
Panthers,
the
or
the
the
Panthers, or
whatever.
the Bengals,
Bruins.
or the Bruins.
Yeah.
But more generic.
Yeah.
Cruisers.
Yeah, more
Cruisers are sort of cool
For
Yeah,
logging.
cruisers.
because what they were. I mean,
Yeah,
not
logging.
Klamath is the Pelicans. I mean, they're a little unique, but so you got these. So I kind of, it's kind of unique. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, when I think of mascots, so in general, I'm thinking of stuff that's fierce, brave, blah blah blah.
Right.
So it's kind of hard, but
the
Not a
Packers.
pretzel or
the Packers is a
Oh.
meat packing company.
Yeah,
So
I can't say much.
they
Then
run
Yeah.
around with cheese on their head.
what's wrong with that?
I don't know. Yeah,
What's
I
right with
guess
that?
I wouldn't think that the little hot dog doggy is intimidating. We'd just be super
Actually
cute.
raised and bred to like
That's cool.
They're just
hunt, like-
cute.
they're
right?
there to
Yeah.
actually get into holes and pull out
Yeah.
badgers
Those are
and
so
so they're
gophers.
kind
And
of bad.
Do they run out and get
Little
the
bit.
tea during games? and
I don't
stuff
know.
like
I don't know if they have something like that. I have no idea. So there you go, the hot dogs.
All
I'd
right.
like to thank the coach's wife for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.